how long have you been District 2 Superintendent?
This is my second week. I'm beginning my second week in service in Anderson 2. I'm very excited about it.
Tell people a little bit about you. Where did you come from? And where were you at before now?
I'm originally from Fort Mill, South Carolina, and there I served as an assistant principal at Northwestern High School, and then as a middle school and a high school principal. I was 2 years at Banks Trail Middle School and then 6 years at Nation Forward High School. Both of those were in Fort Mill School District prior to joining our Anderson 2 family.
How did you get interested in education? When you were growing up, did you always want to be involved in education? What got you interested in education?
I was very blessed. Both of my parents were big proponents of their children taking education seriously. And I had several coaches. My basketball coach and soccer coach were very instrumental in just molding me. And I knew as a late teen that I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted the ability to be able to be used to encourage and inspire and come alongside young people, and knew I wanted to do that early on. And then when I became a teacher, it just affirmed everything that I felt I was called to. So I'll never do anything else except be a school person. I look forward to it every day. I wake up excited about spending time with our teachers, supporting our teachers and our principals, and making sure that our students have the best educational experience we can possibly offer them.
How did being a teacher prepare you for this? How do you think being a teacher prepared you to being a superintendent?
I think that you realize that, somebody, when you ask a teacher, what do you teach? That their answer should be, and this is the answer that our Anderson 2 teachers have, I teach kids. What you teach is really secondary, whether it's math or English or social studies or first grade. The most important thing is being in that room with those children and finding out, what they're gifted in, finding out what they're interested in, finding out their strengths, and creating an environment where they can really make those strengths as impactful as they possibly can be, and make sure those children understand that you're all gifted. One of the things I think that we don't do as good of a job in education as we could is identifying all the multiple areas of giftedness that our children have. The longer I'm in education, I realize that everybody's gifted at something. Everybody, and everybody's needs a little extra grace in some area of their life. So being a teacher, you catch on to that pretty quick, and I think that makes you as a superintendent, I think that makes me a more empathetic superintendent. I think that makes me realize that, as a teacher, you have to be on every single day, and so those teachers need to be supported. And of course I'm partial, but I imagine in some jobs, you may go home and wonder if you really made a difference. As a teacher, you never have to wonder that. Whether it was for good or whether it was not, you made a big impact that day. And I think that's very unique to the calling of being an educator.
What are some of the big challenges moving into this year? It's been a very unusual year for all educators. What are some of the big challenges down here in District 2 coming into the upcoming school year?
I think the primary biggest challenge is making sure that our students and our teachers and all of our school family is safe when they come into the building. We're hoping, and we've got some good indications from our state leadership, that we're going to be able to open the school without all the precautions and the limits that we had to last year in light of the pandemic. So we're hoping that we can have more access to our programs, like we're accustomed to before, more access to our clubs and our fine arts activities and our athletics. And so just making sure that our students are safe as they begin the school year, while them being able to access all the programs that they want to participate in and that we want them to participate in.
And I know you've probably met with the board at this point. What are some of the strategic things y'all have and some exciting things y'all have coming up in the year ahead?
Two big exciting things. And first of all, I'm so blessed to work with our Anderson 2 School Board. Most of them are graduates from our school district, and every single one of them wants to make this the best district it can possibly be. Two of the big focuses that we have is that we have a literacy initiative from K to second grade that we're implementing this year. All of our kindergarten, first grade, and second grade teachers spent last year evaluating several programs, and they put together a curriculum to make sure that our students, when they leave second grade, have a strong foundation in literacy. You could make the argument, and I would make this argument, that every class really is a reading class. We just change the books as they go to different classrooms. And so making sure that our students have a very strong literacy foundation and implementing that new curriculum is something that we're very excited about. And then also making sure that as we're coming out, hopefully, of this pandemic, getting our students plugged into all the extracurricular activities that they want to be involved in. And so just restarting some of those clubs and some of those extracurricular activities that we were not able to do that last year, we're excited about that.
Some of the unique challenges coming into this year include students that may have gotten left behind. How are y'all going to measure, the students that may have sort of missed out on the distance or just disappeared or coming back, or maybe some that just decided not to come back? Have y'all talked about plans about that?
Yes, sir. That's a great question. We've spent the last 6 months this summer pulling in all of our students that we've identified may have struggled with some learning loss, either because they've been out of school for a year, maybe they were virtual students that didn't have the resources they need, or maybe they were students and things have happened in families in our community that we're not even aware of that caused the students not to learn as much as they could have in regular circumstance. So our guidance counselors, our teachers, administrators have identified those students that would benefit greatly for some intervention, and so we've spent the last 6 weeks bringing those students into our schools to kind of get them prepared and set them up so that when August comes that they'll be ready to go into that next grade. And then we've also identified those students who may be our high schoolers who need to retake a class, and some of our elementary and middle school kids that are going to need some extra support. And we have during school intervention time already planned, and then some after school engagements to make sure that those students get the support they need. Finally, over the summer, our guidance counselors including our mental health counselors in our district office has been doing home visits all summer long to reach out and reconnect with those students who maybe we did not see as much as we wanted to. We're very fortunate at Anderson too. It's a very stable community, and so it's interesting. We did a survey at the end of this last year on the desire that our families had for extending virtual learning, and we only had 18 students out of the entire district that expressed a desire for virtual learning. So that's an indication that our kids want to be back into school, our parents want to be back, see their children back in school, and of course we want them back in school as well. So that's a big blessing. We're very fortunate for that.
You touched on this, talking about extracurricular activities. This district has a long history of successful athletic programs. How important are athletic programs to student success, and how important is this year being able to return full force to all sports?
I think one of the most important things, we want to make sure that they do it safely. But I think you mentioned our tradition of athletics. I think we've got tremendous fine arts programs, and of course our FFA program is a model for the state. And those programs are so powerful in two ways. One, they are incredible drivers of school culture. If you have the majority of your student body participating in athletics, fine arts, your big programs here for us, it's FFA, then those students are going to have a more positive experience for school, and then you can leverage that for academic achievement in the classroom. I know with me, when I was in high school, athletics was a big part of what I enjoyed about school, and there's a lot of homework I did and a lot of attention I paid in school in order to participate in athletics that maybe I wouldn't have without that. So using those programs to drive your positive, strong school culture, and then leveraging that enthusiasm and that buy-in that they have to get them to achieve at the highest level in the classroom. I think those are the two big gifts that athletics and then fine arts and other programs bring to your school and your school cultures.
How important is the role of the Career Center in the district here?
The Career Center that Anderson 2 and Anderson 1 school districts share is really an excellent facility to immediately take a student's interest in something that's in the real world, whether it's manufacturing, whether it is the medical field, marketing, digital arts and design, mind and immediately equip them with skills where they can go into industry right out of high school. The Career Center offers 4 levels of all those programs. Students are completers at the 4th level, and that 4th level they actually go in during their school day to those facilities as an internship. And so it's an incredible opportunity. Anderson School District has one of the highest numbers of completers of any school district in the state. So it's a program that our students enjoy and that we get a lot of benefit from. We have 7 schools in Anderson 2 School District. We have about 4,000 students this coming 2021-22 school year. We're excited about seeing every one of them.
Was there any other factors that made you choose District 2 maybe over somewhere else as you moved into the superintendency?
When I saw the opportunity to apply for the superintendency in Anderson 2, one thing that I was struck with and just so impressed with about this community is just the community support and pride that they have in their school, and just the buy-in that all of our local civic organizations, our churches, the community is just so behind our schools, and it was just a real blessing to become part of that.
And have you gotten to know many people in the community yet? Have you been out talking to teachers and people in the community?
Yes, sir. I've had a chance, a couple of opportunities. We had a cheer camp three weeks ago, and so I was able to speak to all their parents. We had a final production at the end of the week. I was able to talk to them. At the very end of the year, we had our Teacher of the Year celebration. That's kind of how we close out the year here in Anderson too. So I was able to address all of our teachers, administrators, coaches, and spend some time with them. And then this is my 2nd week in the district, and we've had 2 Sundays and visited churches, and it's been wonderful. And then in the afternoon when I get home, there's always folks visiting. I think my wife has been to 5 or 6 pool parties already. I think they're probably at one right now. So it's just been wonderful getting to know the community.
Something a lot of parents don't know about a superintendent, especially in a district this size, you're going to have a very busy schedule and extracurricular activities in the months ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In addition, we have 6 children, so I'll have a child in elementary, middle, and then a couple in high school, and so we'll be involved in all of it. My school board chair said, "Jason, we didn't necessarily hire you for you. We hired you for the 6 children you're bringing into the district." So we're going to enjoy just getting involved in it. Every Friday, our teachers will reach out to the parents in their classroom every single Friday, give them a recap of the week, an update on what's to look forward to next week. And then some big key engagements that they'll have for the upcoming month or so. And so look forward to that every Friday from each of your teachers. Then if you'll go to our Anderson School District 2 website, right on the very front, you'll see my email address and phone number. Please reach out. And if you see me in the community, I'd love to speak to you and get to know you. Feel very blessed to be in Anderson 2 School District.